All right, welcome to this video. My name is Taylor Benchard, and we are going to talk about building a list of ideal prospects. I've had a couple of people reach out on Facebook and talk about prospecting and list building, and it's super important for any outbound sales system. If you're going to reach out to people, you first of all need a great list of prospects to reach out to. So there's three steps. There's the who, there's really the where, and then there's just efficiency. It's not really, I'm not going to talk about who, what, where, when, why. But we'll start with who. So really an IAP is just ideal account profile. Some people call this buyer persona. There's lots of different names and different terms. I like it to call it an account because typically if you're in an agency, you're going after accounts like brands or companies or businesses, and I consider those accounts. So when you're building your ideal account profile, you first want to basically start with these variables. In my opinion, these are some of the most important variables that you're going to look at. There's others, but these are some of the most important. The first thing is headcount. How many employees does the company have that you want to go after? What is the ideal range of employees? It's not exact, but hey, what's your ideal range? Is it 100 to 250 employees? Is it 1 to 10, 1 to 50, 25 to 100? What is it? Look at your existing clientele and figure out who is ideal, and then form an idea of, okay, well, how many employees does our ideal client have, right? So again, you're not doing this from a blank slate. You're looking at your current client list, and you're figuring out who is ideal, which is going to be very obvious to you, and then you're going to build this around that. So business type / niche, this is pretty obvious, but what type of business in what type of niche are you going after? If you're a digital marketing agency and you say that your businesses are e-commerce businesses, it's not a niche, okay? E-commerce business is any business with a website, and so that's the whole entire world. You need to really refine it and look at your existing clientele. What do they actually sell? Do they sell beauty products, or do they sell like men's sweaters? Do they sell hats? Like, is it a clothing apparel niche? Is it electronics niche? Is it art? What kind of niche are you in? And try to form your ideal account profile based on those existing clients. Don't just say e-commerce and it's every business in the world. That will not help you at all when it comes to building a successful, outbound sales system. So the second thing is business size. What's their revenue? How much revenue are they doing right now? And that one is pretty obvious, but it's very important. And when you define this, it's good because it makes you think, wait, if my ideal account is doing greater than $1 million per year, how do I know if they're doing $1 million? And you start asking yourself the important questions that lead to the answers that you want, which leads to the results that you want, okay? So business size, problems. Are they having any problems? What problems are they making? Is there any mistakes that they're currently making in their business that makes it obvious to you that you can really help them? For us as an advertising agency, we can clearly see what a company advertises by searching things on Amazon. So it's very obvious to us what kind of mistakes a company is making. So one of the things in our ideal account profile is certain mistakes. They're very specific mistakes, and we're looking for them when we're looking for ideal accounts to work with, okay? The next thing is country. I mean, you're most likely not going to be working with companies all around the world. For us, I mean, we're predominantly looking for United States, Canada, UK, and in general, only just basically business owners that speak English, right? So if the business owner speaks native English, I mean, it doesn't really matter if they're from China or if they're from Hong Kong or wherever they're from, as long as they can speak English and we can actually communicate with them, that's great. So, but in general, countries we're typically looking at is United States is our primary, and then we have UK as secondary, and then I think Canada is like third, and then we have a bunch of clients elsewhere. So once you have these variables defined, and this takes time, this might take you a couple hours, a few hours, it depends on how much data you have. If you have a lot of clients, this is going to be pretty easy for you because you're just going to look at your existing clients and define them as perfect, good, bad, and the perfect ones are your ideal accounts. So the second thing is where. So where can you find these IAPs, right? Where can you find these people? Every business, every niche is different, okay? In our niche, we find them on Amazon. It's very simple, it's very easiest because we do Amazon advertising. But for you, it may not be that easy. But most obvious places are events locally, Quora, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Google, Newspaper, I mean, that one's pretty, very few people find their clients in newspapers, but some people do. And websites, blogs, again, most people are gonna be able to find their ideal account profiles within LinkedIn, within Google, or within blogs, but I would say most of them are within LinkedIn and Google. These two are the powerhouses basically, because Google leads you anywhere. I mean, it leads you to blogs and websites, but you can simply, if you're doing local marketing for companies, you can Google city plus whatever thing that you're looking for, whether it's dentists, doctors, doesn't matter what it is, Google's going to be your best friend. So that's pretty simple, that's pretty straightforward. Again, it's different for every business. Ours is Amazon. Amazon's not even listed on here. It depends on your niche, but you should probably know where these people hang out. Now, the third and final thing is efficiency. So once you have this and once you have this, then it's just a matter of sitting down and executing and doing the fucking work, because it is a tedious manual process. And there are softwares that can help you automate it, so this is what we're going to get into. When it comes to actually executing and building the list, when you're actually looking for these people and you're inputting their data into a Google Sheet, into a CRM, whatever it is that you're using, it is time consuming and it is very tedious. So there's softwares you can use. It depends on your niche. We have a software in our agency. It's not specifically for list building, but we use it for list building and it helps us build our list faster, okay? I also have a full-time virtual assistant. His only job is to help me with list building. That's all he does. Day in, day out, 24/7 is he's looking for ideal prospects, okay? He's essentially hunting down IAPs 24/7, and the moment he finds them, he puts them in the sheet, and it's amazing. It's a beautiful process. He can usually find anywhere between, I would say, 10 to 20 per day, depending on the day and depending on the tool he's using, basically. So automation specialists, these are people who basically have experience with scraping the internet. They are brilliant and they can help you automate and extract data faster than you ever could have imagined was possible. So a lot of things you're doing manually can be automated, and having an automation specialist opens doors for you to save time, which leads to more efficiency. The last thing is a CRM. So you can choose to use a Google Sheet. For years, I used a Google Sheet. And just recently, about a few weeks ago, we decided, you know what, we are finally going to plug into a real CRM. I looked at Salesforce, I looked at HubSpot, I looked at Zoho, I looked at Pipedrive, I looked at a ton of softwares. We settled with Pipedrive just due to its simplicity. So it's a great software. It's primarily sales oriented. It's not just, you could use it for customers, but it's mainly just for pipeline building and going after people. It's not so much for customers. I know some CRMs position themselves just for customers, but this is for outbound sales or inbound sales, doesn't matter. So having these things will greatly speed up the process of list building. But at the end of the day, this isn't that hard. This is not that hard. The hardest thing is this. Day in, day out, 24/7, 5-6 days a week for years. And if you do this well, and you have a good strategy for reaching out to these people, because again, if you're building an outbound system, this is a cold outreach. You need a great process and a great system for reaching out to them that's scalable. And a process is called Trojan horse marketing. We have a great process that we've been using for years. We've gotten great feedback on it. We still continue to use it because it's very unconventional. It's very disruptive. It's very personal. It is great, and it breaks through the day-to-day inertia that a typical, I don't know if inertia is the right word, the day-to-day just life of a CEO who we're trying to reach out to and get a hold of. So with that being said, if you like this video and you want to learn more about not only building a list, but you want to learn more about reaching out to these people, I recommend you search Trojan Horse Marketing in the channel, and you'll be able to see that webinar I did, which talks about one of our lead gen strategies we use. I break it down step by step, and I highly recommend you check it out. It's one of our top videos on our channel. So thanks for watching this. The last couple weeks I didn't post a video. I know I was silent, my voice, I was healing. And with that being said, hit that subscribe button if you like this video. Leave me a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this. Hopefully this helps some people that were reaching out to me about list building. And with that being said, thanks for watching. Ciao.